I would prefer if you didn't, but I will not fault you if you do.
I'll do it in my Jamaican accent.
Please do. All right, you guys ready?
Like, are we starting the session right now?
Yeah, we're about to start our session.
All right, I'm ready.
Get out all of your bad words, everything else. You need to.
Are you okay?
Like
That's
that?
staying in for sure.
Carabas.
There you go, Carabas. Role play
is
those
that?
bad words.
No.
It means
You tell him, Pidgey.
it means bullcrap.
Bird!
I think, more or less.
Hi, Bird. Oh, wait. I gotta get my Twi'lek lingo brought up so I can remember to use it.
I didn't get any Zabrak lingo.
That's okay.
Well, it's your
We'll
fault.
forgive you.
That's okay.
You're still a child. You can't curse yet.
Yeah.
Mom said
I don't
no.
have any curse words.
Based on the main movies, I'm pretty sure Zabrak's just stare menacingly.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Oh,
he's
that's
allowed to
perfect.
speak-
I won't talk the whole time.
He can have 2 sentences, and that's it.
Hey, that's where I
Yeah,
got
was
last
honestly,
Hey.
I was honestly super surprised. Oh, speaking of last time, I think I was reflecting on it, and I think I know why I wasn't into that role play thing when we were doing all those scenes. And it was like, if it's a cutscene, then it's a cutscene, and I know power is taken away. But if I have any semblance of power, then I think I'm in a puzzle, and I'm trying to solve the puzzle, and I think that there's an answer somewhere.
time.
So that's what I was trying to do.
Gotcha.
I was just trying to come up with like a satisfying solution to what was going on.
Yeah, so I just for like the group, I'm not going to put you in like a position where you just can't do anything. If I'm just like, going to give you a cutscene, unfolding of events, I will let you know, or you can just ask me like, is there anything I can do? Because I'll tell you like, no, this is just narrative right now. I'm just setting a backdrop. But like last session, you guys did have actions that could affect things. And I understand that I didn't really explain that on the forefront, so I do get that. So anything else, real quick?
It's also really crazy that I didn't realize that was Darth Vader. In the first, I did not know who that was until
Wait,
I
you
listened
really
back
didn't?
to it, and I was like, "Oh,
I think it was, we got it on camera, but at the end you're like, man, for a second there, I really thought this was Anakin and Darth Vader.
I think
And I was just
did
like,
it really?"
I think I cut off the recording, unfortunately, but you said that, and I was like,
Weird how that works.
like,
Was he joking?
like I have failed. I have failed entirely.
I got it if that
I'm
helps.
just gonna pass the notes to someone else and let them DM. All right. So I think we've got our giggles out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Just
Well, I'm bringing the giggles with us.
a quick recap of kind of what happened last time. Young Jedi Knight Tefenta began our last episode speaking with Master Kiadi-Mundi and was reminded that he had to go to a session with his current mentor slash unofficial master, Master Seleus Olcru, who is a known master of the Force technique, Force prescience. It's not something that's typically studied by many people. Not many Jedi have this ability at all. And a little bit more background into this. I'm not going to go too heavy into it, but this is some homebrew Star Wars. We're playing a Star Wars tabletop, so I'm going to do that. Force prescience allows someone to see into the future. All Jedi kind of have this innate ability to see visions, more or less, of the future, but not many can kind of bring it on command. It's not looked on very favorably to go into the future, because typically, if I was given the chance to look into the future, I'd probably want to change the future. And so a lot of Jedi try to steer away from using it, at least on the wider scale. They don't want to look months or years ahead of time, because that's obviously something that could be dangerous in the wrong hands. A lot of it's used for looking into the past, whether it be for learning more about a certain event or an area. And we'll get into that a little bit more maybe this session. We'll see. So go ahead, Zach.
I got some questions
Yeah, go ahead.
about it. So Okay, so it's okay looking into the past. That's like generally fine. Looking into the future, how is that general feel among the Jedi Council? Like, am I given permission by the large majority of them to like me specifically study this topic and see if there's any use in it that's not like, I guess, sacrilegious? Or am I like especially focusing on the near future in terms of use in combat? Or
Yeah. So as far as like a, is there any bylaws amongst the Jedi that say you cannot do this? No. Is there a kind of apprehension among most masters
yeah.
that you should not do this? I'd say that yes. I'd say that the majority of the council would probably look at looking into the future as a negative thing entirely, regardless of the reasons why. But you're not forbidden from doing it. But you're probably going to get backlash, like kind of what we might have seen at the end of our last session.
Okay, so is this something that, like, I'm such a good Jedi Master, they've given me permission to do it? Or because I've chosen this path, many of the other Jedi Master look down on me?
So I would say that yes to the second. So part of it is people aren't able to do this. It's a very rare trait to be able to kind of bring on this trance, bring on these visions and the past, kind of at your own will. Of course, we had to see, or we saw last session, you use Simo Kane to actually bring on this like trance to make yourself more susceptible to being able to feel the Force like this. But one, not a lot of people are able to do it. Two, it's looked at as a negative thing by a lot of the upper echelons of the Jedi Order. As far as like the more close up, I know you have a force power that allows you to kind of maybe I think maybe predict what's going to happen in combat. I think that's more acceptable because the Jedi, that's something they tend to do anyways, to try to predict their opponent's next movement. So I don't think that's an issue.
Right.
So we saw it last time. We had our lesson with Tef and Master Seleas. It was supposed to be a fairly routine thing where Tef was supposed to look in the very, very near future, just within the next day, I believe, to just kind of look at something mundane. What's he going to have for lunch? Not trying to change it, just trying to visualize and bring himself to it. Something went wrong. We don't know what, but it began to spiral out of control for Tef and ended him in this position facing against this Goliath, as I called him last week. We don't know what it is, really. But Tef had a confrontation with this Goliath and actually lost both of his arms. Master Seleas had a vision of someone who mirrored himself. He had a severed leku, one of his tentacles was cut off, and he looked a little bit older, more beaten down, but he seemed to know quite a bit about Master Seleas. There was a fourth person here, actually, a small Zabrak child that was also here. This child, as you will come to learn, maybe, who knows, is Ikor. And what Ikor saw was a child who is essentially being thrashed around by this Jedi Knight, Tef Inta. This vision ended with a view for Tef of the Goliath bringing down its lightsaber on this small Zabrak. For the Zabrak, it ended with this child coming up to him and saying, "Help." And coming into kind of where we're at right now, Master Ki-Adi-Mundi had found Tef Inta and Seleas Olcru kind of reeling, passed out on the floor, and had a bit of a argument with Master Seleas as to his methods. It didn't get too deep. Seleas tried to kind of be a mediator after conflict started coming to a head and said, we'll talk about this later. But Master Mundi had to inform Seleas and Tef that he was actually sent here to remind them that they needed to be at the Padawan selection trials that were beginning within a few minutes. Their conversation pretty much ended here. So we will pick right back up there with Master Kiadi reminding Celeste and Tef that they have maybe 10 minutes until the Padawan selection starts.
Oh, did we start recording, by the way?
Mm-hmm. We are recording.
A wonderful question to ask right off the bat. Awesome. Could I get a real quick response from these two about something we were trying to discuss after session? So I kind of felt like I was maybe pushing it around a little too much on the last session and really taking control of things. Did it feel like I was taking too much away from you guys? I know especially you, Tef. I literally told you, go to bed. You don't need to interact with this. And I felt really bad about that. Did that feel out of line?
I'll be honest, nothing that you did or said has stuck out enough for me to still have any strong feelings about it. So I think we're in a good place.
Cool. Well, then
Yeah,
I am
and
good.
your character took the forefront of what was going on before, so it made sense that you did most of the talking, as well as you are the Jedi Master in that situation, so you were supposed to be in that mentorship role. So it made perfect sense to me.
Yeah, you're kind
Okay.
of the narrative force, second to
Yes.
Ryder in the last episode, so you're good.
As long as you guys are okay with that. Well, then I'm good.
Ryder, have we left, or are we still in conversation with
So,
Master Mundi?
Our last session ended with kind of a standoff between Master Celeste and Master Mundi. Master Mundi's just informed you two that the council sent him to get both of you for the Padawan selection, and Celeste has just told him, we're going to bed. So Celeste and Mundi are kind of staring at each other, like I said, in a standoff, and Tef is, I'm assuming, just kind of here at the side, like looking between the two, like what's going to happen. My current master versus my old master.
So still kind of shaken up from the events that happened, like in the vision and stuff. I'm still kind of playing with my arms, like feeling them, making sure that they're still there, that I can touch them. And I kind of want to look at Master Mundi and say, it felt so real. Could it really all have just been an hallucination, like you said?
I think at this point, Master Mundi is probably going to turn his attention from Celeste toward Tef and say, of course it was a hallucination. These hallucinogens, I have warned the council over and over again about their uses, and none of them are good. I will have another word with them, Celeste, I promise you.
Now, Master Mundi, let's calm down a bit. I don't believe that this is really... I feel like there are more urgent matters to attend to, and we can talk about these
like the
experimentations
Padawan
on another
selection.
day.
Master Old Crew, I think
we're
we
going
better
to
head
go
that
our
way.
rest. You're very right, Tef. We're going to head that way, Master Sir. Oh, what's his name? Master Mundi. Master my name.
Master my name. Master
Just keep talking to
Mundi.
yourself. Like, your character is just you now.
Master Mundi is...
this,
He's currently
maybe
in
I
a
proved
vision
that a
again.
little too strong. Let's go.
Mundi's going to kind of take a step back, just putting a little bit of distance between the two of you, bow, and then walk around you, not waiting for either of you to bow, and begin making his way toward the Padawan selection. Not telling you anything, but you could tell by his face and the way the conversation ended that he's now leading the way to the selection.
We follow, or I follow.
Yeah, I'm going to follow too.
Okay. So, like I said, for Icor, your vision ended with this boy who you've just watched over and over and over, these repeating visions of this boy growing up. I've told you these really strong emotions you can feel here and there just popping up. And the vision ended with this child who is being abused by this Nautilus Jedi, as far as you could tell, coming up to you and telling you help with his arms outstretched. Icor, as you come to, you feel a firm but empathetic hand shake you. Your eyes slowly open and you see a familiar face. It's the face that you just saw over and over again. Hey, you fell asleep. I just didn't want you getting in trouble. You've seen this face before, and you've seen this smile before, over and over. Not just asleep, but awake as well. But now, you see a sadness under it that you haven't seen before. Anakin, what have I told you about talking during my lessons? I'm sorry, Mr. Obi-Wan. The boy, Anakin, lowers his head, and your eyes turn toward Master Obi-Wan. You can't help but twinge just a bit when you see him. It's the smallest of twinges, but Master Obi-Wan notices. Are you all right, youngling?
Well, yes, I'm fine. Thank you.
Master Obi-Wan sighs and scratches the scruff lining his jaw. Turns and looks out the window, seeing that it is indeed nighttime at this point. I suppose you lot better get moving. Come tomorrow, many of you will likely have masters of your own. I've enjoyed teaching each of you. Remember, head to the courtyard immediately, and may the Force be with you all.
I would like to look over to that boy and silently say thank you.
Anakin doesn't return a smile or a stare, just nods his head and gets up and heads over to Master Obi-Wan. The rest of the class, pretty much in unison, stands, turns, and begins filing out of the room into the Great Hall, heading in the direction that you would know that the courtyard for Padawan selection is being held.
So at this point, do I know his name, or just the boy?
Yeah, no, you would know that this boy sitting beside you is Anakin.
Okay.
Anakin Skywalker.
Got it. Oh, okay. So we're headed out. We're headed out into the court. I thought you were segueing to something else.
No, I'm saying that the rest of the class is getting up and walking out.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought was going on.
Yeah, I thought you were segueing.
Okay.
So, so all of the class is heading out.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would like to look out into the courtyard and see what's been set up for this initiation or selection.
Okay. So you begin following the rest of the group out to the courtyard. As you get to the courtyard, you see that it looks just like the terrace that you would have seen any other day of the week. It doesn't look any different.
Maps!
As far as you can tell, the courtyard looks exactly the same as it does any other day. There are multiple terraces that kind of encompass the outside of the temple. These are places where people can come to meditate. Sometimes combat training takes place out at these. As you look, you can see that there is a large stone perched on a little outcropping, kind of as a viewpoint. You can look out and see the rest of the this terrace, this little courtyard. There's also a little pond that has some exotic fish and some other water plants and water animals that almost look like mollusk of some sort. Trees and rocks kind of line this courtyard as well, and you see that the line is beginning to file down into this courtyard and making a small group right in front of the middle of the courtyard, in front of the pond, rather. Sorry.
Okay. I would like to discern how many Padawans are going to be attending.
Okay. So, with you, there are 7 other younglings. You are one of 8. They're the members of the class that you have just left. You can see that there's just a very collection of other species. One human, there's another Zabrak, though she looks different than you, a Rhodian, and some other species that don't interest you as much. Like I said, they're beginning to trickle their way down the steps and making a small circle in front of the pool. Do you follow them?
Absolutely. And I'd like to go stand as far away from the other Zabrak as I can.
Okay. So you go and make a small circle, and you kind of pull your way away from the other Zabrak. As you stand here for a little while, you begin to feel the crowds pulsing, getting bigger and bigger. The Jedi Order is not very big at all, and most of the Jedi Order is traveling here and there, but the crowd now stands at maybe 200 people, just getting a little bit louder and louder as each Jedi kind of pulls out of the Great Hall onto this terrace.
Okay. I would like to ask, so these other Padawans, I would have been training with them since entering the academy, would that be correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so I know them all very well. Okay.
Yes, and you would know that you are a member of what's called Cath Clan. It's your training class. Whenever younglings are old enough to begin official training, they're grouped with a small group of, up to maybe a dozen other younglings and given a designation, and yours is the Cath Clan.
Does that have any special meaning behind it?
Not really, other than,
Okay.
it's kind of like, I wouldn't say being a part of like a fraternity or anything like that, but
Is this
you
a
can look
gifted
at
program of Jedi.
not quite, but you can look back and see that their previous Cath clans. Once one graduates, there will be a new Cath clan of maybe 4-year-olds that's pieced together, and they will continue to be Cath clan until they all graduate, and then another class will take over after them.
God, I can't imagine what 10-year-old fraternity bros are like.
We beat up each other a lot.
There's a lot of aggression in those
training.
tiny holes.
We call it training.
So, the courtyard is largely dark, but it is illuminated by a few floating glow lamps. It's covering most of the trees and flowers in a dull blue. You can't see it in the low light, but in the distance you can hear the murmuring of the courtyard's fountain. Like I said, the small group of younglings are standing in a circle at this point, and you feel an elbow poke you in the side, and it says, "Look at him!" And a finger points upward, up at the terrace. You can see that Anakin is standing beside Master Obi-Wan. If you turn your head, you can see that the person that just poked you is a young human male. His name is Tang Hua. He was another member of the Cath clan.
Yeah. Okay. So, was Anakin a part of the Cath clan as well?
So, yes and no. And we'll get to that in just a sec.
Okay.
So
I was just trying to figure out how much of his history I would know at this point.
Mhm. So
whether he was training with us the whole time he's been here or not.
Tang's head nods toward young Anakin again and says, "Just minutes ago, he was sitting in the same class as us, learning the most basic history of our order, but he's already apprenticed to the only Jedi in over 1,000 years that's actually seen and killed a Sith." When you look, you can see a few other recognizable faces standing near Master Obi-Wan and Anakin. Jedi Knight Quinlan Voss, as well as Jedi Master Mace Windu, a member of the High Jedi Council.
Okay. I say back to him, yes, he, a very strange one, that one. Well, that's not my right voice. Yes, a very strange one, that one.
You're going to hear calling from behind you, "Like you can talk, Dark Brother."
I'm sorry, who is speaking to you?
You look back and you can see that it's the other Zabrak, a female Zabrak.
I knew who it was. That's why I already went far away from her.
Her name is Shi Zay. And,
Shizay?
and she's going to be crossing her arms and not looking at you directly, but really looking at Tang Hua while talking about you, I suppose.
Oh, she's not. Oh, she wasn't talking directly to me.
Oh, she was, but she wasn't.
Okay, well, I stick with what I said.
Okay. Like I said, she has her arms crossed, and she's not going to pay you any more attention at this point. Clearly, there's some beef here that's maybe unresolved.
Someone's just jealous. I beat them in the last training event.
She's going to stiffen up a little bit and drop her arms and say, "Shut up, pricklehead."
Don't be afraid. You're gonna be picked last again.
And she turns away and looks in a complete opposite direction at this point. And it's right around this point that you actually feel almost a tingle behind your ear. It feels like your head is being pulled in a different direction.
My head?
It feels like your head, like right
Like,
behind your ear. It feels
tilted or jerked?
like it feels like your head is wanting to be jerked. I mean, your muscles aren't giving, but it feels like there's a pull on your head.
He's saying you got spider senses now.
All right. I will allow the sensation to tilt me as
Okay.
yeah.
So, following this urge, you're going to lock eyes with a tall Jedi Knight, at least taller than you. He's a
That's not that hard.
teal blue Nautilin with a top knot. And standing beside him is a Twi'lek that you're assuming is another Jedi, maybe a Master, maybe a Knight. You don't know him at all. You've never seen him as far as you can recall. But they're standing beside each other with their arms crossed. The Twi'lek doesn't see you at all. But the Jedi Knight, Nautilin, definitely sees you and makes eye contact. You, like I said, don't know his name, but you recognize him.
Sorry, which one's the Nautilin? Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Is that the okay.
Here, let me let's
Yeah.
Nolan's a squid head.
Okay, well that doesn't
is-
narrow it down.
That is
I'm an
a
octopus head.
racist-
That's
Thank
his
you.
opera.
Is octopus head I forgot the word, just completely blanked my mind. Bad word.
A
Yeah,
slur?
yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
We would
Yeah, that works. Slur.
we would not use that term.
Question.
Mhm.
Would I know who this is? I think we said last episode I didn't recognize the kid, but
You would not know him by name, but I think it's fair to say that Tef, locking eyes with him, you would also recognize this child.
you'd be like, oh, I've seen this youngling before.
Okay, okay, I got it. Okay, so we just locked eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at him, and then I look at the boy,
Mm-hmm.
Anakin,
I'm-
and then I look back at you.
Question
Yeah, go ahead.
about this ceremony. I don't. Has it started yet? Like,
Not yet.
I was
People are
guessing
still
not.
gathering for this.
I guess what I'm asking is, would my character know whether or not it would be inappropriate to like approach the younglings at this point?
He would know that he should not. It's one of those things where until the ceremony is complete, you should not walk into this
Okay.
courtyard.
Then I would just kind of stare at him, and then I would say, "Master," not diverting my gaze, but talking to old crew.
You're still staring at me?
Yep.
I believe. Yes. What catches your eye, Tef?
That's Zabrak. I saw him in the vision. He attempted
Thank you.
to stop me from fighting that demon.
That is very strange. I do not recognize him. In fact, the only ones I saw were you and that hulking beast.
I'm just gonna keep
I would-
looking and trying to like process what it means, but
I would
but
like to-
but knowing better than stepping out. Sorry, John. Go ahead.
I would like to see if my character would be nervous about this event.
Yes. So I think it's fair knowledge. Anyone who's a member of the Jedi Order would know that this is a huge event. At this point, Icor, you're actually 11 years old. This is your first time through the Padawan selection, but sometimes people can go through multiple times through Padawan selection.
I was gonna insult her and say this was her 5th time here, but I didn't know.
So this everyone in your class currently, this is their first time through
Oh, okay.
the selection.
Okay.
But the thing is,
Maybe.
if they do not complete the selection by the time they're 13, they're actually sent to labor camps. And this is something that you would
What?
know. It's not like a concentration camp type thing, but
Oh.
they're literally, so the Jedi Order has on planets that belong to them essentially, and there are farms there that are tended to of bacta plants that are used for medicinal supplies. and also just for general food. Sometimes they're sent on humanitarian projects. But the thing is, if they do not complete this by the time they're 13 and they're not selected by a master, they will never be a Jedi.
Okay, can I get a backstory to this? So all of the Jedi Knights have the opportunity to take a Padawan? It's whether they choose to or not?
Generally, sometimes the council will say you have to take this Padawan. Sometimes there's no choice in it. Sometimes the master might approach a youngling and say, I want to take you on as my apprentice. There are fairly loose rules with it. The only real hard set rule is by the time you turn 13, you need to have a master.
Or you're going to labor camp.
I mean...
So, I would like to think that my character is a tad bit nervous at this point, especially with... Would I know anything about that Sith that's been murdered at this point, or killed? Would I know anything about him, knowing he's a Zabrak? Okay.
It's one of those things that's an unspoken thing, especially you as a youngling. You might have heard whispers of it, but you wouldn't know the specifics other than it's young Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi who actually killed him.
Okay. So I guess at this point, I think my character would be pretty nervous. So he's going to close his eyes and just breathe for a few moments and just try to maintain his focus and center.
Okay. So while Icor is trying to focus on his breathing and bringing himself to some center place for peace, as a Jedi should, Seleas and Tef are going to be focusing on this young child, Icor, and maybe also trying to figure out what this means in the wider context of their vision. While this is going on, you're going to hear, kind of at a distance, "Children! Children!" From the far edges of the crowd, a voice as ancient as its owner is heard. The numerous Jedi Masters, Knights, and Padawans begin to part ways. And a hobbled High Jedi Master giggles.
That's a pretty good Yoda.
Wait, spoilers. I don't know who it is yet.
Time for the trials of the Cath clan it is. Younglings will soon become Padawans. The trial of the mind. First we have. Master Yoda walks to the edge of the terrace and methodically climbs the big rock positioned over it. Master Mundi, Master Poof, Master Seleas, and Master Jocasta. Begin the trial, you must. Master Poof, Master Mundi, and Master Jocasta begin making their way towards the younglings. Seleas, you were called as a part of this group that will begin testing the younglings.
Oh yeah, I'm going to follow right in tandem with them, and as they're going, I give Tef a pat on his shoulder and say, "You should to pay attention and pick well. All of these children need help."
Okay. So, from here, the testing begins as normal. A series of questions pertaining to history, the Jedi Code, doctrine, theories concerning the nature of the Force, and even current political and civil unrest are all levied at the younglings. Young Icor, how many Jedi Masters have left the Order since its inception? Master Poof asks, his long neck slowly craning back and forth as he asks you this.
That's so mean. You better let him make a history check or something.
That's what I'm reading right now.
Oh, I thought John was like mad typing into Google real fast.
No, I was typing /roll 1d20, and then I was trying to see what I should add to it.
Just preemptively.
So this is something that was mentioned last session. So if you remember it, you can just answer freely, or if not, you can try to remember it as it's your character.
As my character, I would try to remember. Wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Can you repeat the question for me? Because I didn't realize I might have to answer it. It's not my character asking the question again. Sorry.
So, how many Jedi Masters have left the Jedi Order since its inception?
Yes, Master. 20 Jedi Masters have left the Jedi Order.
Good. Yes. From here, the questions just kind of continue as normal. Master Seleus is actually currently leading a trial on meditation, where the youngling is supposed to take a meditation pose, join hands with Master Seleus, and clear their mind and center themselves, freeing themselves of all distractions. It's now Icor's turn, and he has to sit in front of Master Seleus and holds his hands out for Master Seleus to grip them.
It is okay, child. Do not be nervous. Now, let us focus and see where you're at in your training.
Yes, master.
So, as you sit, Seleus, you can feel something. You don't know what it is, but your hands almost
Their hands.
burn with heat as he grips your hands. It feels like he knows something that you don't. And from here, John, I'm actually going to make you roll for... I'm so sorry. Did not have
No, it's
my
fine.
character sheets pulled up. Ah!
Dang, is John Cena a Padawan?
Got him.
Do what?
If he was, we wouldn't know it because we wouldn't be able to see him.
He's already invisible.
He's already.
God, I
moved
love
forward.
memes from years ago.
They never die. John, I'm going to have you roll for... I'm sorry, just a base wisdom check for right now.
Wisdom.
That was recent.
Wisdom. Got it.
Here.
You see our rolls now?
For a second.
Yeah, roll. And I can't
There
see
you go.
that, so you guys are just going to have to tell me
Alright.
what it says.
I got a 10.
Okay. And I'm going to have our good old Master Seleus roll a counter check. And he is going to roll for... Let's see. Roll for use the force, because you're trying to see if he's actually centered here or not.
You got it, dude. I'm gonna nail it.
Yeah, use the force. He's got like
Yeah.
plus 97.
Yeah, plus 9, so that's a 26.
All right, so you're going to feel that he's nervous, and you're going to feel that he does know something that you don't, and maybe get a short glimpse of this vision that Icor was a part of earlier. You can't see anything menacing, but you do see, kind of in a third-person view, you can see that Icor is looking at Tef and yelling for him to stop.
Okay. Let's see. At that, I think I'm going to kind of back out of the meditative state, but I want to do it subtle enough to where, like, the other masters couldn't really get a handle on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get a handle that I'm coming out of the meditative state.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And just kind of shocked at what I was seeing, and maybe try to whisper something into his head rather than, like, instead of trying to receive information from him, I'm trying to send him information.
Okay.
Is that something I can do?
Yeah, let's do
Telepathy?
another use the force check.
That is a 17.
Okay. I'm gonna say that
Are you okay?
that
Do you have a 19 in charisma?
No, I have only a 15 in charisma, but because I'm a Twilight, I get a +2 to my modifier, which is a +4. And I also have, like,
Training.
yeah, I am trained in use the force.
Okay, sorry. Continue. I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah, I went full out on the use the force check.
I'm going to
It's
say
paid
that
off so far.
despite your great training in the force, that our young Icor is just not at the same level as you, and he's not going to be able to feel anything that you're trying to maybe implant into him right now.
I'm trying to clear my mind, not
Yeah.
receive information.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Noticing that doesn't work, I definitely dive back in and try to gleam onto more of what he saw in Tef.
Okay. So, I would say that you are able to see that there's this child here, and that this is distressing Icor because you've come into this late. You're not seeing every bit of it, not start to finish, but you're just kind of seeing where this child is running at Icor, and Icor is hands outstretched, telling Tef to stop. You can feel this great fear in Icor at this point.
Okay. I think I'm going to bring him out of the meditative stance that we're in, still holding his hand, and say, "You have a great touch with the Force. I'm going to be keeping my eye on you. You pass for now. You may move on."
I bow and say, "Thank you, Master."
Okay. So from here, the last younglings kind of wrap up their trials and move to the sides, waiting for the stragglers to wrap up. And then Master Yoda carefully rises to his feet, propping himself up on his cane. "Completed, the first trial is. The trial of the saber. Commence it may." At this point, even the restless Padawans and previously inattentive elderly masters become interested in what's about to happen. Master Sin Dralig, Battle Master of the Order, steps forward onto the terrace and announces aloud, "The first combatant shall be Tangua and Icor. No direct use of the Force shall be used against your opponent. You should also avoid from striking the head. Though these are practice sabers, I would prefer you to go unharmed throughout this melee. Begin." And Icor, I'm going to have you actually roll for initiative.
Child fight! Child fight!
Alright, place your bets, gentlemen.
2.
This cat will not leave me alone. I've put him down like 7 times, and he keeps coming back in my lap.
4.
I'm jealous.
He needs
Initiative of 4.
Okay.
So nobody else's cats pay attention to them?
I
They
don't
like
have
Megan.
any.
And they like me.
You're like the
He will
boss.
come. He will get anybody that he wants to.
You forgot your slash.
You're right. I'm learning.
Anybody he thinks he can get attention from, he'll go to.
Okay. So, taking a battle stance, you are separated pretty much evenly throughout here. Can you see where this is moving to at the moment?
Yes, I see one person.
Awesome.
And them too, obviously, but they're at the side.
Oh, he big.
It's
Alright. So,
a long lightsaber.
Tangua is going to be positioned right here underneath this tree. You're going to be positioned near this rock where Master Sindralig has split you two. He's going to reach for his belt and pull his lightsaber, igniting it. Like I said,
I do the same.
these are practice sabers, but they are going to deal some damage. They're going to sting at the very least.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Would I have been using practice sabers throughout my entire time, or would I have practical use with the lightsaber as well?
All of your lightsaber use is probably going to be restricted to practice sabers at this point.
Okay. I just wanted to know if like the weight was different than like a normal lightsaber.
No, it feels exactly the same. It's just
Yeah.
that the intensity is not there. It's not going to cut through someone's flesh or something. It's just going to leave burns.
I don't know why I needed to
Lightsabers
know
can be
that.
set
That
to
was.
stun, right?
I don't know why I needed
yeah.
to know that, but that's what came to my mind when you were
Okay.
like practice saber. I was like, is it weighted different?
Yes,
No,
baby.
good question.
Okay, can I make a joke before you start?
Yeah, go ahead.
I jump on the rock and say, "Ha ha! I win! I have the high ground."
Okay. I'm going to say that.
That was a joke.
Are you actually doing this? Is this like?
I will jump on the rock, but I'm not going to say I have the high ground. But
Okay.
I
I will allow you to do this. So, Tangua is going to look a little perplexed at you jumping up on the rock, and he's just going to reach his hand out and and grab a tree limb that's laying out from underneath one of the trees, and he's just going to throw it at you, trying to knock you off the rock. And
I can't put my
Doesn't
character.
even say anything to you. He's just like, I know this shit. I'm gonna hit him.
Could you unlock it so I can move that face? Is that possible?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's
you
see.
can unlock it. You can make it to where it's player maneuverable, and you can set it to a specific player.
Here, can you move that? No.
I can highlight it. Do I like double click it or something?
Right.
Do I drag it? Because when I drag it, it's like making a like when you drag the home screen on a computer.
You know, I don't know how to do that, so we're just gonna.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm so sorry.
I was gonna move it to the rock.
I
can
think
just,
you
like,
can just
remove
right
for
click
now.
the icon
Yeah,
yeah,
and click
that's
more
fine.
Let's
options.
see.
That's fine. No big deal. I was just gonna move it to the rock.
I'm looking at advanced, but it doesn't have that on here. Oh wait, here
You're
we go.
fine. Not a big
says-
deal.
Yeah, it's like a toggle, I think.
For some reason, we don't have. I'm clicking the represents character, and it doesn't give us any other options. So
That's-
for the moment,
that's fine.
I'll be controlling.
fine.
So, like I said, he's going to reach for just a loose tree limb on this tree, and pull it off and just kind of throw it at you. Not with a lot of force, but just more or less trying to get you off of this rock.
Okay.
Um,
I want to. I just want to kind of look at this because I've tried to throw a tree limb before, and it did not make it 40 feet.
Just like,
he's
even when you
using-
know you're about to get.
He's using the force to do this.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna stand there because we're not allowed to use the force.
No, you're not allowed to use the force directly against each other.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Yeah,
Okay.
you didn't listen to instructions from Master Syndraulic, so.
Okay.
All right.
You metagame for me, so thank you.
All right, so he's going to push that at you, and that's going to be a 16. Does a 16 hit?
This would be fortitude defense. So
No,
am I
it's going to be
reading this right?
reflex. Reflex is what you're going to use for this.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. All right, and we're going to go for. And it's going to hit for 3 damage. Okay.
Okay. Okay. My turn.
Yep, it is now your turn.
Okay. Yeah, I figured you went first. Okay. Ho, 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 ho. I'm going to go ahead and move. Behind the rock.
Okay, you're gonna move behind the rock.
Wait, so hold before I do that. How tall is the rock?
This rock is about maybe. You're not very tall at this point. You know, you're still about 11 years old. So I'd say that this rock probably comes up to about your chest, maybe about 3.5 feet tall, maybe 4.
What?
Hmm?
Oh, to my chest. Okay, I was.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, what? I was thinking you thought I was 30-something foot tall.
No,
I was
no,
very
no, no.
confused for a
I'm saying
second.
this rock
Okay.
is.
Okay, so it comes up to my chest. Okay, well then I wouldn't move behind the rocks. I was thinking for defense, but at that point, you know, it doesn't make much sense. I guess I will. Sorry, I have to look.
No, you're good. We're still learning this system, so it's going to take a few sessions to kind of get the hang of combat and everything.
Okay, I would just like to, I guess, move forward, and my movement is like a 6, so I can move 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3.
All right, so you were right here previously, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, go right 2 now. Yes,
5, 6.
That is where I want to go, and then I would like to hold up my lightsaber in a defensive stance.
Okay.
Ooh, but as you do that, there is a standard action that you take called Fight Defensively.
Yeah.
Which is basically what you're describing. It's
Yes.
You take a -5 penalty on attack rolls and get +2 dodge bonus on your reflex defense.
Okay, can you repeat that one more time for me? Sorry, I was over here focused on map tokens.
Yeah, so there's a huge difference in standard actions in the Star Wars Saga Edition versus D&D 5e. I highly encourage you guys to look at the standard actions. Yeah, fight defensively. As a standard action, you can concentrate more on protecting yourself than hurting your enemies. You can take a -5 penalty on your attack rolls and gain a +2 dodge bonus to your reflex defense until the start of your next turn. If you choose to make no attacks until your next turn, you gain a +5 dodge bonus to your reflex defense until the start of your next turn.
Okay, I want to do that. Thank you. I will take the +5 to not attack until my next turn.
Okay. All right. So we're going to say that Tanghua is going to come at you now because you are within his sights. 2, 4. And he is going to try to slice a Rooney at you. Okay. He's going to bring his saber, swinging really without control, just wildly at your shoulder. And that's going to be a 14. Does a 14 hit?
No.
Okay. So you're going to very deftly duck out of the way. Like I said, he's swinging at your shoulder, so it's pretty easy for you to just duck out of the way and keep him from hitting you entirely. All right. Now, Icor, what do you do?
Okay, I would like to I would like to go ahead and attack back with my lightsaber.
Okay.
Okay, since all of you guys also have the lightsaber, what's your plus to attack on this?
Mine is I just have a +1, but I have negative modifiers in strength and dex.
Oh, do you add strength? Okay, sorry, I couldn't to attack, like to hit. I mean, does anyone know?
It would be your base attack bonus. I forget how you calculate it.
Did you take weapon proficiency with lightsabers?
Yes.
Okay, so then it'll just be.
Oh wait, no, I did. Sorry, that's a feat, isn't it? Yeah, I don't have.
Yeah, you did it.
Oh, you didn't.
Oh wait, that's a requirement to be a Jedi. Yes, I have that one. Yeah.
Okay.
My bad.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. What's you doing?
Yeah, that's a requirement for a Jedi. But the problem was you can only pick one feat, so I was like, well, force training, obviously.
So I think it'll be 1 plus your strength modifier.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That would mean mine is -1. I don't know if that's right.
Wow, I got a 5.
To
Forgive me if it's not, but I think that's right. Or maybe I know there's a feat you can take that lets you use dexterity instead of strength for attack and damage, but I think by default it's strength.
Okay, I got a 5 to hit, so probably not.
So, you try to attack, and blow for blow, you swing at his shoulder, and Tang just ducks right out of the way. Tang is going to, seeing that you just missed so obliviously over his head, he's going to swing at your legs now, trying to knock you off balance. And man, cannot catch a break. He's gonna go for a
boring battle.
13.
Ties go to the roller. He hits.
Okay. He is going to hit you around your kneecap, and it's probably gonna hurt. We're gonna see. Okay. It's going to hit you, just grazing your kneecap, cutting through the top layer of your robes. It's going to leave a rash on you, at the very least. You're going to have 3 points of damage here. Okay.
Are there opportunity attacks in this game?
Yep,
Yes.
there are.
Okay. Okay, so I guess my character is going to. Okay, I'm going to. Can I use a force power? Battle strike.
Yeah,
It
let's.
will. It will gain. I will gain +1 force bonus on my next attack roll, maybe before the end of my next turn.
Yes,
It'll
you
just allow it to deal extra damage. Okay.
can do
So
that.
that's not against the rules.
No,
This
the
fight?
bigger issue is like using force push to push someone into like a rock or a tree or something.
Okay. All right. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I will go ahead and roll again. I use that and attack in the same turn.
Yes.
Okay. Makes sense because it told me to use it before the end of my next turn, but I wanted to check just to make sure I wasn't crazy. I got a 7. I don't like this die in this game.
See, I've been rolling like much higher than I should be consistently. I think I type in GM roll and it's like, we're gonna punish them. We're gonna do this.
I don't roll this low in actual games.
Right. So you rolled a 7, and that was for your force power.
I got a 7. I got a 7. Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to roll for an attack?
Wait, no, that wasn't for my force power. I think that's just an action.
Oh, that was 2 attack.
Yeah, that was 2 attack.
Yeah, you're going to miss your mark.
Definitely.
At this point, you're actually going to feel a bit of a rumble on the ground underneath you. Both of you are. And it's going to kind of scare Tangwa a little bit. He's going to start backing up away from you. And you're going to see underneath your feet, the ground is actually splitting a little bit. For about these tiles right through here. The ground starts to split and open up. And you can hear the sound of like maybe a woom, woom, woom.
Yeah,
woom,
that's what I was
woom.
thinking. Yeah.
And what are you going to do?
Do I get an attack of opportunity when he steps away?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Got a 23.
That hits.
Yay!
Alright, so what's the damage for a lightsaber? Is it... I have these wrote down, but see, it just says 6. Do you not roll?
It's 2d8 plus strength modifier.
Okay.
At least that's what I have written.
2d8 plus strength. Okay. Uh, 10 damage.
Okay. Alright. Now, from here, the ground is going to continue to open. Icor.
My turn?
Almost.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, it is their turn. That's right. So I just went.
I just attacked twice. Can I go again?
Well, I was like, did they just move for their turn? But no, it was like a reaction to the grand opening.
Okay. So the ground is going to continue opening underneath your feet. Rolling for a 11. Does that hit?
No.
Okay. So the ground is going to continue to open up, and it's going to essentially throw back 2 folding doors. You're going to stagger back just a bit, but you're going to keep your footing right here in the middle of this pond area. Can y'all see this?
Yes. Black
Yeah.
square.
Alright, well, didn't mean to do that.
2 black squares.
Right
3 black
here.
squares.
Right here in this area is now going to be a gaping hole in the ground.
A gaping hole.
And the sound that you're hearing earlier, the womp, 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 is going to speed up more and more until eventually there is going to be a little droid that's going to fly out of this hole. And he's going to train his attention directly on you, Icor, since you were the closest to him. Okay.
Okay, what does it do whenever it trains its attention on me?
It is going to begin firing on you directly.
Just like the simulations.
And it's going to roll for a 14.
What sort of save would that be? Reflex again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that hits.
Okay, that hits. And
So, can I deduce if this is a part of the event, or is this like something else?
I mean, you could roll maybe for
Insight?
yeah,
Is there
insight.
insight
Well,
in
there's not
this?
insight in this, so you can roll
Dang
for
it.
roll for perception.
Why is there not insight in this? Whoops. Just kidding. $11.
Okay. Real quickly, you're going to take a scan of the crowd and see that no one here looks surprised at all
Okay,
by what's
got
happening. You, however, still feel very surprised, and you can see that Tangwa on the other side of this gap, and on the terrace, is almost to the point of freaking out because he doesn't know
Okay.
what's happening.
Got it. Okay, my turn.
Yes, you will take 4 points of damage. By the way, forgot about
Okay,
that.
thank you. Alright, so how far in the air is it? How high?
It's hovering about head level, eye level rather.
Can I jump that high?
Yeah, very much so.
Okay, I want to jump on top of it.
Okay. That roll for acrobatics.
Oh, 4.
Okay. You are going to try and jump.
Can't jump high enough.
You're going to try and jump onto the top of this droid, and you're going to horribly overshoot. And
Jump
you're
over.
actually going to jump over the gap and land on the other side.
I meant to do that.
At this point,
Would I jump to the left of the door?
so yeah, you're going to jump. You're going to jump over here because you're trying to jump over him. So those will put you over here, directly beside our good friend Tangwa.
Isn't that convenient for him?
He's going to look at you and not really sure what's going on still. He's going to try to take a wild swing at you.
Hold on, I didn't get to attack.
Oh, okay.
You made your jump.
Yeah, you made the jump.
That's movement.
Well, it counts differently in this. Zach,
Wouldn't that be considered a swift action though, even if it was it's just a jump?
let me see. It would count as a standard action. Well,
Really?
you can move up to your speed as a move action.
Okay.
So you could still stand up, or you could complete a. Right now, you just landed on your back after overshooting this. You're allowed to do a swift action
Okay.
if you have something that would fit in that, or you can do a move action at this point. But an attack is a full round action, so once you complete an attack, you can't do anything else.
So you can't move and attack in the same turn?
Apparently not.
You can move if you do it before you attack. There's a special feat that you can get that allows you to move after attacking as well.
Okay. And the only reason I can't attack right now is because I'm on the ground. Is that accurate? Not that the fact that I just tried to jump.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to game this. I'm just trying to make sure I'm playing this correctly, because there's standard actions, swift actions, full actions. I'm trying to make sure that this fits within.
Okay, are we just trying to figure out what he can do since
Yeah.
he's knocked prone?
Yes.
So
the only thing I think you
typically,
can do at this point would be to stand.
in D&D, you could make an attack as long as you do it with disadvantage. That was the 5e rules.
I mean, I'm
But-
just gonna stand, but I was asking if I had
Just look at
fallen
the-
over, if I jump, do I still get to attack after? Because I see jump as a part of movement.
Yeah, I think as long as it's within a certain distance. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't do like a use the force jump.
So that's fine. I will allow that to happen. I made you move a little bit further because of this gap. The only reason why you wouldn't be able to move and to attack in the same round is if your move would be over like 4 squares.
Okay, so you're considering that you're talking about dash. Okay,
Yeah, so this is fine. You can still technically attack on this turn.
okay, but I'm prone, so I actually can't. Okay,
Mhm.
so I stand up. Okay, I was just setting it up for the future in the event I
No,
need
no,
to
you're
jump
right. I
anywhere
appreciate
else.
it.
All right, so I'm gonna stand up and swift action. Okay, I don't think I have anything. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. So, seeing you're kind of floundering, Tanghua is going to look between you and between the droid that's now flying over the gap, and he's going to turn and make a break for it. But before he does that, he's actually going to let me rewind. He's going to give a swipe at you, just kind of flailing. You can tell he's freaking out at this point. Let's go
Should've
ahead
calmed
hit for a
himself
6.
before the event. 6 does not hit.
Okay. All right. And I guess he'll actually end his turn at this point.
He's not gonna move.
He's not going to move. That was the end of his turn. That was a full action since he tried to attack at you. So from here, you're actually going to hear another boom, 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 boom. And from this hole, there's going to be another droid that's going to come out. And he's going to begin pointing his direction at pointing his blaster in the direction of Tanghua here. This other droid is going to start coming at you.
Okay.
And alright, and the droid that's coming at you is going to shoot at you for a 6.
6 does not hit.
Okay? And let me see. It is now your turn.
Is he in within 1 square of me? My opponent?
Yes, he is. He's hovering over this gap, but he's close enough that you could hit
Okay.
him with your lightsaber.
I want to use the force to try to push one of the droids into the other droid.
Okay?
And so it's going to be the droid in front of me is going to be flung into the other one in hopes to land into the water. Is that going to happen? I don't know. That's my intent.
Okay.
I mean, they're probably waterproof anyway, but
So you're using the move object force power?
I was just going to use force. Is there a specific...
So there's use object is the specific force power. Since last time I was kind of letting you use force push during like a dream sequence type thing. Do you have use move object as your as a force power?
I didn't see that on the list. I just thought it was use force.
Mm-mm. So there's specific force powers to do that.
Oh, so we have to specifically have that force power to move things?
I'd say that in combat for sure. We might finagle with it outside of combat, since it makes sense that you'd be able to just levitate things. But in the context of combat, you're not going to be able to just throw something or push something unless you have the ability move object.
Yeah. Do you know about the force power suite and all those things?
I have
By
force
core.
powers, but
Well, I mean, like, do you know about how to use them and how they get used up and when you can't use them?
not really.
It's really simple, honestly. It's so you have the number of force powers you have, and all of those are like your suite. And basically, every time you use one of those powers, regardless of whether it succeeds or fails, you can't use it anymore until basically like a long rest. But and then when you're out of combat, you can spend force points to gain those force powers back into your force suite.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, okay. So at this point, the opponent that's hurt me more. Okay, since I can't use it. Sorry, the bird's going nuts for some reason.
You're good.
I'm going to continue attacking my actual opponent, since he's actually done more damage to me, and I'm just going to do a standard attack.
Okay.
Alright. That is a 14 to hit.
That is going to hit.
Okay. And we decided that was 2d8 plus strength on. 11 damage.
Okay. So you're going to send him reeling at this point. You're going to do a deep swing and just hard as you can down on him and catch him across his chest. You're going to cut open his robes and leave a dark red gash across his skin. I'm going to say that at this point, Tanghua is going to be completely freaking out, and he's going to turn and run around the opposite side of the pool here.
I think that's an attack of opportunity too, if you want to take that.
Yep. Gonna run. I'm gonna punish him for it. All right.
Punish. Knock him into the water.
That's right here.
That's a 16 to hit.
That is going to hit. Oh, poor Tanghua.
It is 10 damage.
All right. So, striking him across the back, again, you're going to cut his robes. His robes are going to be singed, little embers coming off as he collapses to the ground. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say, looking at my opponent, I believe he is beaten. I hold out the lightsaber, waiting for him to concede.
Okay. He's going to roll over on his back and say, I give up, I give up.
At that point,
quite the fighting prowess on this young one, Tiff.
At this point, the droids are still floating in there.
Yes. And
Okay. I turn toward them, and I look at the Jedi. I look at Master... what's the name of the Master that's over this event? The specific one?
Master Sindralik.
I look at Master Sindrali.
Don't look at me, you daft fool! And then...
Oh, I mean, that doesn't change anything. I just look at him. I can't do two actions in one turn, sir.
And hitting for a nat 20, the droid that is closest to you is going to take a shot at you.
As this happens, just as Master Old Crew has spoken, I say he's clumsy and he only finds success when his opponent falters. But I've just been watching him intently with my arms crossed.
Alright, you're going to get
So
hit
all
for,
battles go.
This is
It's
good
me
observation.
metagaming.
You're going to get hit for another 3 damage.
Alright.
This other droid is now going to turn its attention directly on you and kind of corner you. Actually, no, we're going to say it's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to move behind you here. And it is going to take a shot at you.
Just 3.5, or does this have flanking?
Yes.
This has flanking? Okay, I'm gonna have to write that down. I'm not used to that. 5e does not have flanking.
Yeah, I'm also a little overwhelmed at all the 3.5e stuff that's creeping in all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm here for
worry,
it.
I'm also overwhelmed.
It's not DMing if you don't spend most of the session in the rule book.
Okay, so that's going to be an 11.
11 does not hit.
Okay. You're also going to, it's not just a bit of flavor here. You're going to hear some muttering from the crowd. You can't tell if it's pleasant or not, but you can hear them talking amongst each other about what's just happened with Tangwa being defeated and now you being flanked by these droids. It's now your turn again.
Okay.
I think among this muttering, I'm going to lean over to Tef again and say, but we must remember, those droids are not his main opponent. For this training exercise, they are merely a distraction, and he was still able to focus on the opponent at hand. You must remember this as well.
And
Thank you from the metagaming standpoint.
Kiadi Mundi is going to be standing to your right, Master Celeste, and he's going to say,
I'll do that. I
Oh
got
man,
a restroom.
this dude hates me.
he's going to say, obviously the intention of the droids was to make the younglings work together, and then look over slightly at you, and then turn his attention back towards Icor down here.
Okay. Well, anyway.
I'm going to confide a little bit in Tef and go, he does not like me. I do not understand.
He's going to say, I
just
can
want to
hear
metagame
you.
that conversation. I just want to
I want
metagame that
you to hear me.
conversation,
You
but I'm
hurt
not
my
gonna.
feelings.
Go ahead, John.
I'm not in that conversation. I want to, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
All right. So, I am now going to. Okay, so how does this work? They have ranged attacks. Ranged attacks don't get attacks of opportunity in 5e. Do they get them in Star Wars RPG?
No, I believe it's only
On
for
what?
melee. Yes, that's correct. It's only for melee.
Okay, so neither one of them will get attack of opportunity. Okay.
Flanking actually works the same way. So flanking only comes into effect with
Melee. Okay.
You
So,
do get attacks of opportunity on ranged attacks.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, if let's see,
I'm confused how that would work. 'Cause anytime anyone moved in a ranged battle, they automatically get shot.
you can
It makes
only
sense.
make attacks of opportunity. You can only make attacks of opportunity with melee weapons, natural weapons, pistols, carbines, and any weapon with a retractable stock.
So
Okay.
And
probably not.
So I guess that's kind of up to you what you consider is on their armaments.
Well, it also says above that, if an opponent moves out of the square adjacent to you. So that's when the opportunity attack is, like, triggered.
Even
So
range, though?
two people, like, shooting at each other from 10 squares away aren't going to trigger opportunity attacks.
Hmm.
But if someone has a pistol and you're next to them and you try to run
Oh,
past them, then that'll trigger an opportunity attack.
Yeah,
So
they're
if I-
taking up 2 squares, so I didn't know where they were.
Yeah. So, are they away from me, or are they within 5? Are they within 1 square of me?
So
No, they're more than 5 feet away. Sorry.
They're within 1 square. No, you're good.
Okay.
These are long boys here.
Okay.
Oh, they are long boys.
That's in the rule book.
It says long boys are long.
Oh, is
Small-
that one of their
small,
character
medium, large,
attributes?
and a long boy.
Okay. So at this point, I will. I'll go ahead and. I guess I'll just go ahead and attack the one in front of me,
Okay.
and then I wrote down attack bonus +7. I don't think that's right. I've been doing +4 this whole time, but I'll have to look into that. Why I even wrote that?
Roll to hit.
A 23 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. That is 9 damage.
And as you come down with your lightsaber on top of this droid, it's just going to spark everywhere and begin falling down into this pit that it's currently hovering over.
Okay, can I turn around
Hey.
and face the other one? Is that a thing I can do?
So full action would be combat, so you've already completed that. So for now, you're still going to be facing away from him.
Okay.
Oh wait, does your facing matter in
Yes, there's
3.5
flanking,
each?
so it does matter.
Yep. That's
Well,
If there's
flanking is
flanking-
just when there's an opponent on both sides of you.
Oh, so there's
yeah. Okay, so I guess it wouldn't. Let's see.
I thought flanking is if anyone was behind you. Doesn't matter if there's someone in front of you.
No,
You
flank.
just- if
I
you're
have the
between
rules
two-
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're making a melee attack against an opponent and you have an ally on the other side of an opponent, so that the opponent is directly between the two of you, you are flanking that opponent.
Yeah. So it's
So
not
it's
gonna
when
matter.
it's when you're pincered.
You will take a 15. It's 15 hit.
15 hits. Yeah.
Okay. And you'll take 1 damage from that.
All right. Yeah, I chose the right opponent to take down first.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, you gotta think on your feet during a battle. Who hurts you more? Take them out. All right. So my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna attack the very last one.
Okay.
And I think I would have this down by this point, but you'd be wrong. 17.
That hits.
Okay. 9 damage.
As you hit this droid, it is also going to spark and fall into the ground, catching on fire.
Wait. Oh, I'm so sorry. I think you're rolling wrong, my guy. You're rolling a. Is that? Hold on. Is that what 2d4s looks like? You just happen to get a 4 and a 2.
I rolled a 2d8. I got a 4 and
Two-
a 2.
Oh,
Kurt.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kurt told me
Sorry,
it
I was
a
just not
2d8
paying attention to that.
plus strength mod.
You're good. Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, this droid is going to fall to the ground in smoke and is just going to begin smoldering on the grass here. And you're going to hear, "Good, good, good, good. Very good, young Icor." And the crowd's going to begin slowly clapping for you.
Okay, I take my lightsaber and I what is the word you would say? Not
Just-
retract,
Yeah,
right?
no, retract.
Retract it, and then
Sheath.
I bow to Master Yoda and Master Sindrali. Yes, sheath. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on Master Mundi's nerves, and I'm gonna lean over him and say, "It appears the young Padawan is chosen wisely."
Master Mundi is just not even going to look at you. He's just going to continue staring across the terrace.
yes.
And then
I
you're
made
going to-
him speechless for once.
You're going to hear from the group, or from the Master Yoda at the head of this. Though I wish to commend you for what you've done, I must say, aggression has no place, Padawan.
Hold on. Am I allowed to speak back in this instance?
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was acceptable. Okay. Okay. I say, Master Yoda, my more difficult opponent, I was tasked with taking down, and I stuck with my objective first. I know this may have been a team exercise, however, I cannot deviate from my opponent just because new opponents arrive. And weighing my options, my initial opponent was causing more damage, and so I must dispatch them immediately.
Practicality and aggression. A bad combination. And he's going to look across the crowd and say, "Any takers this Padawan has?
Why does everybody hate us? What did
Okay.
we do already?
Well, you
Everyone
see,
thinks we're bad eggs.
well, the way I went into this fight, this is a metagaming thing, but the way I went into this fight was, I am here taking down another, like, Sith Jedi. I'm not gonna assume they're gonna join my side to fight other droids and then continue my battle. So, that was the way I had envisioned this fight, so, I may have perceived it differently than was expected of the Jedi, but that's on me.
Ryder, to clarify, is is Old Crew the only one in the situation looking for a Padawan? Or am I looking for a Padawan? What's going on?
I mean, anyone
Or
here
just-
is the rank of a Jedi Knight can take a Padawan here.
Can take a Padawan? Okay.
I'd like to lean over to
Mm.
Tef and say, that one will require much tempering, but I believe he could make a very useful and great Jedi Knight one day. But lots of
And
patience is required. If you're not going to grab him, I think I may need to take him for myself.
And as he looks over at me when he finishes speaking, he'll see that my hand has already been raised.
Young
Don't have any other takers?
you wish to take this boy as your apprentice?
I do. I believe his rawness can be refined.
Ah, many Jedi think this. Not always this way. It can be. Yes, yes. Very good. Icor, young Padawan. To Tef enter, you shall be apprenticed.
Thank you, Master. I just look at you.
I'd like to make very clear that I put my arm down and cross my arms again and kind of furrow my brow, and I'm still just kind of staring at him like I have been for the entire time.
Just those deep,
Stranger
emotionless
danger.
black eyes.
So
So nobody else raised their hands?
at this point, I'm going to say that it was just so split second that there's no
Yeah.
one that had a really opportunity to take you otherwise. And from the corner of your eye, Icor, you're going to see that Tanghua is on his feet and he's glaring at you.
Tanghua, is he still on the ground?
No, he's back on his feet.
I bow to my opponent, regardless.
He's going to nod his head at you and begin making his way away
He refuses
up the stairs.
to bow to his opponent. Okay. I'll remember that. Okay.
Aggression.
John's being a salty winner.
Okay.
What? No, he just didn't show respect to his opponent.
Hey, what,
Respect
what do
me
you,
when
what
I
do you
beat
call?
you.
I mean, what do
What do
you
you
do?
call
What do you do when you lose a baseball game? You still tell the other team good game.
What do you call a salty Padawan? A
Assault
Padawiner.
Tiger.
A what?
A Padawiner.
Got him.